Val woke up after having a fitful sleep. Her dreams were filled with the images of her men being slaughtered as they accused her of being the reason why they died. No matter how much she apologized and said that she didn't mean for it to happen the way it did, the soldiers continued to accuse her. Her bed was soaked in sweat as her eyes opened. Getting up, she was confused by the room she was in. The quality was better than anything she had ever seen. After some time had passed, Val realized that she was inside the home that E had created. Removing the blanket off of her, she was surprised by how cool it was. Inside the residence, the house was often warmer than she liked. She wondered if this was thanks to his abilities that he was always secretive about. Looking down, she realized that she didn't have any clothes on. Realizing the maids had likely undressed her, she walked around trying to find where her clothes were. Passing by a mirror, Val was surprised by how clear the image was. With the number of suitors she has had, Val understood that she was pretty, or at least influential with power. But seeing herself now, the way her muscles tightened and loosened and how curvy she looked, she admired how feminine she was. Moving away from the mirror, Val saw a small door that she thought was where the closet was located. Opening up, there was her uniform and armor hanging there. The uniform looked clean and the armor polished. Taking her time, she put everything on and felt better having some metal on her. Being a lady knight, Val often felt more comfortable wearing armor. There was a knock on the door, with a voice saying, "The master would like to inform you that breakfast is ready once the lady has finished changing." Walking down the stairs, Val noticed a large dining area with an abundance of food on top of it. E and his servants, along with Celestra, were eating and chatting. Glancing up, E spotted her and waved for her to come and eat. There's a large selection of food, but if there is nothing that meets your fancy, the chef can prepare whatever you wish. He grinned and directed her to a tall man in a chef's outfit. Val took her seat and looked at the variety of food. Grabbing some sausages, eggs, bacon, and pancakes, she began to eat. The taste of the food was mind-blowing, and she couldn't help but moan in pleasure. E laughed at her expression, and his companions also giggled. Celestra looked at her with an understanding, knowing how big of a difference his food was compared to the world. "How?" she began. "I am lucky to have access to a large amount of resources. While we are on topic, I would like to offer you an opportunity," he grinned. Seeing her expression, E continued, "I think you are beginning to realize that something is going on inside the academy. This expedition was not meant with you surviving." Gulping down the remaining food in her mouth, she asked, "What are you implying?" "You are an intelligent woman. The cave that we ended up in was the only logical place we would end up in. By this rationale, we can deduce that our surviving this expedition was not planned. Someone wants you dead," he explained. Shaking her head, she responded, "No, I am the one that suggested this mission." "Are you saying that you came up with this insane mission without any external inspiration?" he said mockingly. "No, but Nathaniel tried to convince me not to go on this mission. He even suggested I bring you to make sure that there was a chance this mission would." She trailed off as she saw him sneering at her naivety. "I understand that someone like you is going to have a hard time understanding how friends can betray you, but the sooner you can, the better. If you want, I can take you to a place where your sense of justice will be appreciated and where people do not have the reason to stab their friends in the back." He spat out the last part. "Where would I go?" she asked. "I'm sure that you have heard of a new city appearing inside the Great Desert?" When she nodded, he continued, "I have a connection with the person who created the city, and I would be able to provide you with sanctuary. Inside of this place, your talents could be used to help out those who truly need your help. The academy was a great concept, but was always had a flaw inside of it. Seeing her lack of comprehension, E said, "The academy will always be at the mercy of those who have resources, due to its size and ability. As long as it cannot sustain itself without outside assistance, Academic City will always have to dance around those with power. The same power that is running amok in your city." Then how is a city that is inside a desert able to do what the academy cannot? Val pointed to a flaw that she noticed in his example. E grinned and said, "Resources are not something this city has to worry about. I can explain everything, but it would be better for you to just see it for yourself." Val thought about what E was trying to tell her. Even though she couldn't imagine Nathaniel wishing her dead, the things E pointed out were suspicious. It was tempting to accept E's offer, but she shook her head. "Thank you. I appreciate that you are trying to look out for my safety, but I cannot go with you to this wonderful place." "Why not?" E said, but she knew that he already suspected the reason why. "Because I cannot just abandon the students who are unable to defend themselves.